The invite to Cassie's end-of-semester party was like a golden ticket. Her parties are legendary, and this one promised to outdo them all. The theme was masquerade, an excuse to hide behind a mask and let loose. I should have known better than to think the mask could hide us from everything. The night was in full swing when I arrived. The house was packed, the music loud, and the energy infectious. Everyone was enjoying the anonymous feeling provided by their mask, including me. It was liberating, dancing without a care, meeting eyes with strangers who were friends just for the night. But then, things changed. It started with whispers, a rumor of someone crashing the party. Not unusual for Cassie's events, but this felt different. Guests talked about a figure dressed in black with a mask that wasn't playful or themed, but plain and unsettling. No one knew who it was, assuming it was just another partygoer getting a bit too much in the spirit. As the night progressed, the atmosphere shifted. What began as an exciting mystery became a source of unease. People reported feeling watched, followed from room to room by someone who always just seemed out of sight. I laughed it off until I felt the feeling too, a prickling on the back of my neck, a glimpse of a shadow moving just as I turned. Trying to shake off the unease, I went to find Cassie. That's when I heard the scream. It came from upstairs, piercing the music and chatter. The party stopped dead. I was one of the first to react, running up the stairs, my heart hammering. In the upstairs hallway, a girl from my sociology class was slumped against the wall, her mask askew, tears streaming down her face. She stammered about a man in a black mask, how he'd cornered her, whispering threats with a voice that seemed to slither through the darkness. She pushed past him and ran. The party shifted into chaos. Some guests left while others searched the house. I helped Cassie look, checking every room, but we found no one matching the description. The police arrived, took statements, but with no evidence and the mysterious figure gone, there was little they could do. We thought it was over, but we were wrong. Days later, reports surfaced of other sightings near campus, always describing the figure in a black mask. It wasn't just a party crasher, it was someone stalking students. The community was on edge, every shadow suspect, every stranger a potential threat. Then, 2 weeks after the party, a breakthrough. A student was attacked late at night but managed to fight off her assailant. In the struggle, she tore off his mask, revealing not a monster but a fellow student, someone we'd all been around, never suspecting the darkness he harbored. He was arrested, charged with multiple counts of assault. The relief was palpable, but the scars remained. Cassie's parties never resumed. The sense of invisibility we all felt hidden behind our masks was shattered. We were left with the stark realization that danger could lurk behind the most familiar faces, and sometimes the masks we choose to wear only hide us from the truth until it's too late. I never liked house parties, but when my best friend Mia begged me to come to one hosted by a guy from her biology class, I couldn't say no. The promise was a night of fun, a small gathering of close friends, nothing like the wild, overcrowded bashes we usually heard about. Yet, as the evening unfolded, it became clear that this party would be unforgettable for entirely different reasons. The house was an old Victorian on the edge of town, its history as mysterious as its appearance. The host Evan claimed it was his family's, though they rarely used it, making it a perfect spot for an intimate get-together. The setting was eerie but exciting, its secluded location adding to the night's allure. As the night wore on, the party settled into a comfortable rhythm of music, laughter, and games. But then, Mia and I overheard a conversation that sent chills down our spines. Two guests mentioned a local legend about the house, how it was supposedly the site of a grisly unsolved murder decades ago. They laughed it off, but the story lingered in my mind, casting a shadow over the festivities. Trying to shake off the unease, Mia and I joined a group heading into the basement for a game of hide and seek in the dark, a decision we'd soon regret. The basement was vast, with countless rooms and corridors, remnants of the house's storied past. As we scattered to hide, the thrill of the game quickly turned into fear. I found a small room to hide in, the door creaking shut behind me. In the pitch black, my imagination ran wild, the murder story replaying in my mind. Then I heard it, a whisper so faint I thought I imagined it. But it came again, closer this time, a menacing chuckle that seemed to echo off the walls. Frozen in fear, I realized I wasn't alone. The game above seemed to cease to exist. The laughter and calls of ready or not, here I come, distant and muffled. My heart raced as the whispers grew louder, words indiscernible but intent clear. I was about to scream for help when the door flung open, light flooding in. It was Mia, her face pale with fear. She hadn't found me by chance, but had been fleeing from someone, something stalking her in the darkness. We ran, not stopping until we burst into the light and noise of the party upstairs, our interest halting the festivities. Breathless, we told our stories, but it was met with skepticism and laughter. That was until others came forward with their own experiences of unexplained shadows and whispers in the dark. The party ended abruptly, the fun replaced by a collective unease. We later learned that the legend was more than just a story. The house had indeed been the site of a murder, its victim rumored to haunt the premises seeking revenge. Whether our encounter was with the spectral remains of the past or a more earthly intruder playing on the legend, we never found out. What remained was the undeniable truth that some places hold on to their darkness, whispering it into the hearts of those who dare to tread too close. The party was supposed to be a simple night of fun, a break from the monotony of our everyday lives. Instead, it became a terrifying encounter with the unknown, a reminder that some whispers in the dark are best left unanswered. The invitation promised an exclusive party at a mansion on Crescent Hill, a place rumored to be haunted, adding an irresistible edge to the night's allure. The mansion and sprawling estate, abandoned for years, had recently been purchased and renovated by an enigmatic new owner, who was now opening its doors for a night of decadence and mystery. As we approached the mansion, its imposing silhouette against the night sky sent a shiver down my spine. The excitement among my friends was palpable, each of us eager to explore the mansion's rumored secret passages and grand halls. The party was in full swing when we arrived, the mansion's eerie past forgotten amidst the laughter and music. But as the night progressed, the mood shifted. The host, a charismatic yet peculiar figure, announced that the night would culminate in a special game designed to test our wits and bravery. Intrigued, we all agreed to play, unaware of the true nature of the game. The rules were simple. Find the key within the mansion to unlock the front door. What we didn't realize was that the door had already been locked, trapping us inside with no means of escape. The game had turned sinister, the mansion a labyrinth of shadows and whispers. Panic set in as we split up to search for the key, the fun of the party replaced by a desperate desire for freedom. It wasn't long before we discovered we weren't alone in our search. The host, revealing himself to be far from the charming figure we met, had transferred into a predator, stalking us through the dark corridors, his intentions malevolent. Each encounter with the host was more terrifying than the last, his mind twisted by a psychotic break that led him to believe he was the master of a deadly hunt. The mansion with its hidden rooms and secret passages became his playground, and we were the unwitting participants in a game of life and death. As the night wore on, alliances were formed among the partygoers, each of us using our strengths to outwit the host and find the key. It was in the mansion's dilapidated library behind a false bookshelf that we finally found it, clutched in the hands of a statue that seemed almost to sigh in relief as we took it. The escape was nothing short of miraculous, a mad dash to the front door as the host's laughter echoed behind us. We emerged into the breaking dawn, the mansion's silhouette now a haunting reminder of the night's horrors. The aftermath was a blur of police sirens and flashing lights, the host apprehended thanks to our statements. The mansion on Crescent Hill, once a symbol of mystery and allure, became a cautionary tale of dangers lurking behind closed doors. The Pine Grove Annual Bash was a tradition eagerly anticipated by everyone in our college community. Held at a sprawling estate at the town's edge, it was the embodiment of youthful exuberance and freedom. This year, however, the night would unfold in ways I could have never imagined, marking me forever. As I navigated through clusters of dancing figures and jubilant voices, the electric atmosphere was contagious. The estate, illuminated by strings of fairy lights, cast a magical glow over the revelers. It was in this enchanting setting that I first noticed him, a shadowy figure who seemed out of place, his gaze locked onto me with unsettling intensity. At first, I brushed it off as paranoia, the result of too many horror movies. But as the evening progressed, so did the frequency of his appearances. Whether I was laughing with friends or grabbing a drink, a quick glance over my shoulder would reveal his haunting presence not far behind. The turning point came with a game of hide and seek in the estate's sprawling garden, a playful nod to our childhoods. It was during this game that the night's playful veneer began to crack, revealing the sinister underbelly beneath. Hiding behind a large oak, I felt a hand clasped over my mouth, pulling me backwards. A scream was stifled before it could escape, my heart pounding against my ribcage. In a twist of fate, a friend's sudden intrusion searching for their own hiding spot caused my would-be abductor to flee, leaving me trembling in the darkness. I was shaken but unharmed. The realization that I had been targeted, that someone had intended to take me from the safety of my friends and familiarity, was paralyzing. The decision to leave is immediate, but the journey from the garden back to the safety of the estate was fraught with fear. Every shadow seemed to move, every sound a potential threat. The festive lights that had once seemed magical now felt like beacons of danger, casting lone shadows where he could easily hide. Upon reaching the house, I was enveloped in the cacophony of the party, a stark contrast to the silent terror I just experienced. My story poured out in a rush to disbelieving ears until the gravity of the situation set in. The party ground to a halt, a search was organized, but he was nowhere to be found. The police recalled, their questions painting the night in stark, sobering strokes. The party, once a haven of joy, had turned into a crime scene. The shadowy figure was never identified, his motives remaining a mystery, a ghost in the night that had almost claimed me. In the days that followed, the Pine Grove party became a cautionary tale, a reminder of the fragility of our safety, the presence of danger, even in the midst of celebration. For me, the night left a lasting imprint, a constant over-the-shoulder glance, a jump at every unexpected touch, and a newfound vigilance that tempered the innocence of youth with the stark reality of the world's lurking shadows.